Breaking news, Daniel Jones is not going to be active Sunday Night Football against the Bills. So the Giants already were undermanned, and now they're even severely undermanned. We're going to be talking about what this means, man. Before we dive in, subscribe down below, road to 10K still active, man. Like the video, comment down below your thoughts, and let's dive straight into it, right? The main thing I want to talk about in this video when it comes to Daniel Jones is please don't do it. And what do I mean when I say that? Tyrod Taylor is going to come in. He's going to start for the New York Giants. And hopefully our offense can look a lot better than what we've looked like so far. The offense is obviously one of the worst in the league, hands down. Probably up there with the Patriots. So we'll see exactly how that turns out. So Tyrod Taylor is going to step in. And if Tyrod Taylor looks any better than Daniel Jones, get ready. Because everyone's going to hear it. Everyone's going to talk about how Daniel Jones is not the quarterback. Everyone's going to talk about how Tyrod Taylor should have been starting for a long time. Tyrod Taylor is the better quarterback right now. Listen, Tyrod Taylor is not a better quarterback than Daniel Jones. Tyrod Taylor is the backup quarterback for the New York Giants for a reason. If they thought he was better than Daniel Jones, he would have been playing. So anything that comes out of this game, even if Tyrod Taylor balls out, I'm talking about even if he goes for 250 to 300, this should not change the fact that Daniel Jones needs to be starting for us. And I know it's hard to hear. I might sound crazy for talking about it. But you know what you have in Tyrod Taylor. And some of us, I understand, it's been 4 or 5 years now. We should know what we have with Daniel Jones. We know who he is. But is changing to Tyrod Taylor the move for the Giants? Is that really going to be the move moving forward? It's not. The quarterback problem is still a quarterback problem. If you don't like Daniel Jones, you're not going to like Tyrod Taylor in the long run. Tyrod Taylor's been there, done that. He's a veteran for a reason, and he's a backup for a reason. So now, if he comes out, and if he does ball out, I would say let's see what happens next week. Not because of Daniel Jones not playing well. Daniel Jones' neck injury got to be more serious than we thought it was. It has to be. He didn't practice all week, and this is a couple days before the game that's coming out that he's out. He has to be. They were thinking that it was going to be like a game time decision. We'll give all the way up until Sunday. Clearly, it's bothering him. A neck injury is nothing to play with. So if Tyrod Taylor shows some life, let's continue to give it a little bit of a run. But please do not make it a Tyrod Taylor as our franchise quarterback. Please don't do that. Because I know how our fan base is. I know how we think about these things. And I know how people are going to take it. Everyone doesn't like Daniel Jones. And everyone thinks that he should be making plays. Listen, Sunday night's going to provide a lot of answers. And of course, I'm a fan. I want us to win. I think whoever gives us the best shot to win this game, roll with it. In my opinion, going into Sunday night, it's going to be a long game. Daniel Jones, it was already a long game with him. I think without him, it's going to be a long game. We're going to see how we operate. We're going to see how the play calling is. I've already been saying for a long time now, the play calling has not helped them out at all. My quarterback, Daniel Jones, looks rattled completely. But the play calling is also a little bit wonky. In my opinion, I don't think Saquonbarkley is going to play Sunday. Andrew Thomas is not going to play Sunday. There's a lot of guys that are banged up that will not be playing in this game. So am I hoping that Tyrod Taylor is going to throw for 300 passing yards? No. We have to be realistic. We have to know what this team is, what this offense is. And at the end of the day, I said it in a previous video, off of execution, not off of talent, because I think we have talent, but off of execution, off of play style, we are one of the worst teams right now. And it sucks to say, it's a hard pill to swallow, but we have to be realistic about this team. Whether it is with Daniel Jones or not. Now, a lot of people are not a fan of him. I know a lot of people are rooting for him. But when it comes down to it, going into Sunday night with Daniel Jones is already going to be a long feat. This one with Tyrod Taylor is just going to be the same thing. It's going to be even harder. A couple of other things I wanted to touch on real quick when it comes to the Giants. So, obviously, we've been patching up this offensive line as much as we can. If it's up to me, Justin Pugh, call him up. Let's see what he can do at guard. Right now, if you don't know, Marcus McKeith has been starting at guard. Then we've been rotating Glowinski with Shane Lemieux and Bredesen. Bredesen had to step in at center because of JMS being injured. This interior is bad. Really bad. So I don't think it can get any worse than it already is. Justin Pugh got signed a couple weeks ago. He was actually available, but we didn't call him up for him to play. He needs to get called up and he needs to play. We also signed somebody, I'm sorry, I can't even pronounce his name, but he did come from the Patriots. He was a former third-round pick in 2019. Come in, put him to start. It can't get worse. It literally cannot get worse than the play that we've been getting out of our offensive line yet. Because when you look at our offensive line, from tackle to tackle and everything in between, we're just not showing it. We're just not playing well. So patching up this offensive line is the best thing we can do at the moment. And you have to look at the offseason. You have to look at Joe Shane. We prioritize certain things, but at the end of the day, you can trade for Darren Waller. You can sign Paris Campbell. You can sign another receiver. If you can't block, your offense is not going to be able to perform. We have to take that up with Joe Shane. We have to take that up with our front office and just say that they handled that poorly. This offensive line has been an issue for the past couple years, and dating back to when Eli was ending out his career. His last couple years in his career, we wasted it. We never gave him an offensive line to support him. And you're seeing the same thing repeat itself. And we're just waiting for that day to change, man. If you're a Giants fan, how do you feel about the offensive line? How do we change these things? It's not like they're drafting these players wrong. We drafted plenty of talent in the offensive line. In my opinion, you have to look at the coaching and shoot, you need to pluck some trees from other teams. You don't see teams having top 5 picks all throughout the offensive line. You see them struggling as well. You see them with injuries, but yet we perform the worst. There's a common denominator when it comes to here. You can't have a couple different players drafted at different selections and not performing the same way. It has to be coaching. Because then when they go somewhere else, like the Will Hernandez, like Justin Pugh, even when he left, other teams are getting the most out of the players that we had. Feliciano on the 49ers right now. Gates out there in Washington. These players are performing elsewhere. They couldn't perform for us, but they're performing elsewhere. The offensive line coach, Bobby Johnson, I told him he got to go. They got to get somebody else in there for him. Because until that gets fixed, it's hard for me to believe that this offense is going to be able to do what we expected them to do heading into the season. It sucks. It's very bad to have this negative mindset or have this negative tone when it comes to these things, but we just got to be realistic where we're at, man. After this game, if we lose, we're staring at 1-5. 1-5 with a couple weeks to the deadline. I see people talking about this might be Saquon Barkley's. He might have already taken his last snap for the Giants. They might keep him out completely until we trade him. That's going to be a whole separate video, a whole different topic for another video. But once again, man, if you are the GM for the Giants, what are you doing to change this team up this season? Not the off season, not next season. This season, what would you do if you're Joe Shane? Comment down below your thoughts on that. That is going to wrap it up for this one. If you haven't seen my other video I just posted, it was about the Patriots, man. I'm talking about more NFL content going into it. It has nothing to do with the Giants. Me being the juke, I always wanted to talk about the whole NFL eventually and sprout my wings into that. I'm definitely not leaving the Giants, though. I'm still talking about them just as much, but I will be dropping other content. So make sure you're staying tuned with that. If you love the NFL, I have more content coming through there, man. So if you haven't seen the other one, click up in the left right here. Subscribe down below. Road to 10K still active, man. We're almost at 2K. I got to hit that before the end of the year. So please help me out. Subscribe down below. Like the video, man. And I'll catch you on the next one. I'll probably drop a video before the game. Make sure you stay tuned on that, man, because it looks like it's not getting flexed out. I'll catch you on the next one. Like we always say, let's go Big Blue. Peace.